on the old course at St. Andrews. Alongside Frank Novello, I'm Rich Lerner. And Frank, here we are at the old lady, the old course at St. Andrews. And this golf course has confounded so many through the centuries. What are a couple of keys to being successful here?
Well, if you're a recreational player and you're struggling a bit, then you play to the middle of the golf course. But if you really want to challenge the great course, then the best line around the whole golf course is down the right. And that's actually where the trouble is. So if you can hug the right side, because remember, there's so many double greens here and they have a central bunker. So if you're coming from the right side of the golf course, there's always a better avenue to every single flag you're attacking.
And that is safely in the left side of the fairway. A fine start here to his round. And that is right where you want to be. His drive splits the middle to get this round underway. And that is just what you're envisioning when you're on the range. That's positioned nicely in the right side of the fairway. So just what you want to start your day. Not the longest tee shot, but plenty long enough and in the fairway. Second shot coming up. Let's check in for the first time with Notavigay III.
Coming at it from 116, pinned just on the front edge.
That's not too bad. Good shot. Inside 20 feet, I would imagine. So a good chance, really outside chance for birdie. Oh, this is straight at it.
It is a really good line.
Really nothing wrong with that approach shot. Just a little shy of where you'd like to finish up, but still one good putt, maybe a birdie.
So the great tee shot left him here. Now his second from relatively close range.
Oh, way too much ball.
And that will make it onto the putting surface, but ultimately, not a real good shot. A chance to really start this round with a bang. A long look here at birdie. This is a 19-foot putt. don't be short. Just another couple of turns, Frank. Ah, yes, very well read. To 1 under now for the day. So the birdie not to be, and she'll brush that in for her par. +1 in the early going. That, so nearly a birdie, but par is all he'll have to show for it. Trying to get the round off to a good start. Frank, we're at the second hole, and what's ahead?
Well, the ideal tee shot, just a little over that gorse bush in front of you, which is down the right side. That's the best angle in, but it also brings in a little bit of trouble. But if that pin is anywhere towards the middle of this double green, then really you want to be coming in from the right side. Ball's back in the fairway. I guess it's better to be lucky than good.
Nothing to fault there, safely in the fairway.
Finds the fairway.
And that's going to be just fine out in the right center part of this fairway. Well, going to be a lengthy putt for birdie, but on a long approach like that, anything on the green is a welcome sight. Well, had a good lie in the fairway, but couldn't do anything with it. That comes up woefully short. Second shot coming now from just over 170 yards.
And that ball looked good in the air. You'd like it to be a little closer, but still, inside 40 feet, just going to have to be careful with the lag putting.
Second shot straight ahead, and we go to Iona Stephen.
He's in a good spot, 135 yards left to the flag. Pin on the left portion of this green, so it will favour a wee draw.
That's an excellent strike, but perhaps in between clubs. Can't go long on this hole. So that ball just needed to release a little more, but still, well positioned.
Birdie putt coming up, but you gotta think anything inside of 7 or 8 feet here is pretty darn good.
Just a little over ambitious on that chip shot. It just sailed past.
Okay, on the putting surface, but work to do from there. This will require the full attention. A huge swing left to right on this putt. Just trying to get it in there close. Frank, that's what you want to do. Good lag putt.
Yeah, they can't all go in.
Fairly long 25-foot putt here. Nope. Even par early on. One over for the day. Disappointment there. He'll brush it in, and that'll be just a par. Okay, no problem with that one. Up next here at St. Andrews, the 370-yard par 4 third. Best to drive it left center to avoid a cluster of bunkers down the right side of the fairway. The real challenge comes on the approach with Cartgate Bunker coming into play. This up the right side off the tee. Good shot coming off bogey at the second. That's going to be in the fairway. Yeah, all about hitting the fairway here, and that is right where you want to be. To where the hole is cut, just about 190 yards, Frank. Well, not as close to the pin as you'd like, but when you find greens in regulation on a regular basis, you're going to have a chance. While sitting on an upslope here, you got to be careful that you don't get this one straight up in the air from that lie.
Oh, it was a good strike. I could tell that by the sound as the ball came off the club face. That little bounce and check, well done. That ball was always heading a little bit right, but inside 10 feet, there's nothing wrong with that on this hole.
So this one downhill all the way. This will be a tough one to judge. This one, not for the faint of heart. Down a big slope, though it is for birdie. Oh, that is so nicely judged from that far away. That required a lot of touch down the slope. Well done. A 9-footer now for his birdie. Nope, that could have erased the bogey from the previous hole, but no dice there. From about 8 feet. Yep, good work not to let that get away, and that's in for a par. Okay, he's able to get the shot back here. It is a good birdie, moving him to +1 for his round. So close to a birdie, but she'll be left shaking her head as she finishes that for a par. That, so nearly a birdie, but par is all he'll have to show for it. Frank, the challenge begins to intensify here at the 4th.
Yeah, a bit risky if you try and hit it down the right side. Just about every player I've seen over the years has sort of aired a little bit to the left. That's a safer tee shot, but it does set up a very daunting second.
No problems there. That's going to wind up safely in the fairway. Not sure what happened there. Wrong club selection, poor execution. Regardless, a lot of meat still on that bone.
It's a good shot, but does leave that little uphill putt, so that one will be slow. I'm not quite sure that strike, whether they got it all, but ball's just come up a little shy. Outside chance for a birdie.
It's 37 yards to the hole. Okay, not a bad lead. That's a good shot. This is a 13-footer. Boy, that's a good stroke. Just a fraction off target, but you can't get the speed any better than that. Yeah, good concentration there. That's a distance where a putt could get away, but that, in for a par. Two over for the day. Disappointment there. He'll brush it in, and that'll be just a par. That so nearly a birdie, but par is all he'll have to show for it. Chance here at the par 5 fifth, Frank, to make a little move early in the round.
Yeah, it's certainly eagles galore. The fifth hole is one of the biggest greens on the golf course, shared with the 13th. So good tee shot, and you have a nice big target, even though it's a blind second shot coming up.
Well, you can't walk out and drop it any better than that. That is a fine tee shot right there.
Well, that is straighter than straight.
safely back into the fairway. That was the job at hand, and it's a good end result. Now a second from well over 300 yards. This will be about positioning. Frank, there's a perfect example of the difference in the way the game is played in Scotland and the way it's played in the United States. In the U.S., in the air, you fly the ball to the whole location. Here, you play that baby right on the ground. That was well done.
Yeah, the biggest problem is when is the ball going to stop? And that's what you have to judge.
That is a really good shot. On and two on this par 5, but the work's not done yet.
I'm a tough taskmaster. If he makes the putt, or at least gets down in 2, then I'm going to congratulate him on this hole. Good shot again there. Well thought out. Landing the ball short, letting the ball run onto the green. And inside, well, I'd call that a birdie putt. So that's birdie range. It might have been perhaps a little conservative, but right in the heart of the green.
One feature of so many of these older British courses, the oversized greens, and this, a long look for eagle. So after 2 good shots to get here, this, a long look for a possible eagle. Oh, how good is that? Those are the kinds of long-distance putts you'll see here in Scotland, and that was judged about as well as one can. Now this, for birdie.
And putt coming up a ridge, one you might have to hit a little firmer to take some of the breakout.
Yes, nicely done. It's in for birdie, and it's into red figures now at 1 under par. This is a 16-footer. This a shade better than 50% on the make percentage. It's for birdie. Nah, that one's going to go begging. It misses right. Frustration there. We set a 50-50 proposition. He's in the wrong part of the 50 now. Disappointment there. He'll brush it in, and that'll be just a par. Okay, a nice, easy birdie there and a chance to start over, back to even par. So the birdie not to be, and she'll brush that in for her par.
Now to the 374-yard par 4 sixth, another scoring opportunity.
Just be very careful of the wind conditions here because that'll affect the strategy off the tee, but bunkers left and right to be avoided. That had to be in the rough the whole way. One more bounce back on the fairway.
This starting up the right side. All right, in the fairway. So we have 190 yards left. Now a second from 173.
Oh, she's got great balance in that swing too. You see, just picks the iron shot off the turf and, well, the result, inside 10 feet. Well done.
Now note his second from the fairway.
145 yards left, standing on even par, looking to go under for the day.
So the ball on an upslope now for his second.
Nice approach shot, and the other good thing about that, left it below the hole.
This would be a big bonus if it went in, more than likely just trying to get this one close. Settle. Yeah, that's really good from that distance. Well, those are the shots that turn what you'd like to be a leisurely stroll out on the golf course into a day of hard work.
Yeah, what could have been a tap-in is now going to be a grind.
Yes, very methodically done, and that one in for a birdie.
8-foot putt here.
Okay, can't take putts that length for granted, but that's in for a par. It's about a 60% make percentage from here. This for birdie. So close to a birdie, but she'll be left shaking her head as she finishes that for a par. So the birdie not to be, and she'll brush that in for her par.
Over the ball here at the 7th. Frank, if you had to script a game plan here, what would it look like?
You could drive this pretty close to the green. This is a green that's shared with the 11th, the par 3. And you won't see that tee shot finish, but you can actually drive very, very close to a bunker called the Shell, which is the one that protects the par 3 11th.
And that ball going to roll out a little too much as the momentum carries it all the way into the bunker. Nope, that wasn't the right line, and he'll pay the price as this ball gonna run off the fairway and into the bunker. That is straight into the thick stuff. Okay, so good work there to get this back out into the short grass.
And really, this is not a bad spot to be, just a little short of the green. Certainly not out of the question to get away with a par. Imagine a miss club, because that ball sailed past the flag. Really just fortunate to stay on the back of the green. That took some guts too. That was a clean strike out of the fairway bunker. And to get it inside 10 feet, some doing.
Now this, an awkward distance for a bunker shot.
Woo, Nelly. That one whizzes past the hole. Difficult putt coming now.
Iona, this a birdie putt.
Yeah, it's a long putt, so pace is important, but there's not a whole lot to it. I fancy the chances of getting this close.
Not quite enough pace on that putt. 21 feet from pay dirt. Got it there, but not quite on target. Trying to generate some momentum here at the 7th hole. This for birdie. Not a problem. That's in for birdie, and that score moves to 2 under par. -1 for the day. Cleans that up in the hole. That so nearly a birdie, but par is all he'll have to show for it. Arriving now at the first of only 2 par 3s at the old course, 166-yard 8th, featuring a high lip bunker guarding the front of the green that is difficult to hold. Boy, that one did not want to slow down at all, and it winds up running right through the green. That's going to be on the putting surface, and a birdie look straight ahead. Okay, that ball safely on the green. And that gonna wind up on the green. A little short-sided here, left of the green for his second. Oh, how good is that? Those are the kinds of long-distance putts you'll see here in Scotland, and that was judged about as well as one can. Yeah, I think you take that. That one made a pretty big left turn, so to get within a few feet, that's not bad. Iona's down there. She's had a good look. This for birdie.
Well, this is a big swinging putt from right to left from start to finish.
Yep, not bad. Had to put a little extra into that one, but got it there. That's a pretty good effort. 13 feet away. Boy, that's a good stroke. Just a fraction off target, but you can't get the speed any better than that. Okay, just the one drop shot, as that's in for a bogey. Disappointment there. He'll brush it in, and that'll be just a par. So close to a birdie, but she'll be left shaking her head as she finishes that for a par. So the birdie not to be, and she'll brush that in for her par. Frank, the old course all about avoiding the pot bunkers. They're so nasty. This is a good example here, the ninth hole.
Yeah, the pot bunkers really to be avoided are the ones in the middle of the fairway, but there are some that sneak in on the left side, plus that gorse on the left. If you can carry that last one, which is called the end hole, then there's a chance to perhaps drive this green.
And that will do just fine.
That's a good tee shot down the right side, but that flag's a little tight on the right, so you might have to have a little think about this one. What a great tee shot. Perfect, right down the middle.
After a good tee shot, Iona,